Ludwig Van Beetoven, born in Bonn, now Germany, on 1770 and died on Vienna on 1827 at the age of 57 years old. And the composer's life was marked by his deafness. The hearing loss was total in his last year. That not only insulated him socially, but also affected his mental well-being. The works of Beethoven anticipated many of the features that were to characterize the post-romantic music, and even that of the 20th century. There is no doubt that as a composer, he marks a before and a after in the history of music. Mainly, I think that this could currently be related in a positive way. Since in absolutely all aspects of life we will find difficulties to face, but the difference between those and those that my character face is that today we stop trying or look for the solutions that involve less effort, even if it is not the most appropriate. So we end up becoming a mediocre society. The advantage I find is that his grandfather, father, and other relatives already had a background and knowledge in the field of music. So thanks to this, he had support and someone to guide and encourage him. Another one I found is that thanks to the contact he had with an inventor of the time named Johann Meisel, he was able to get artifacts that helped him with his deafness problem. The main disadvantage that I find is that at the time he lived, there was no enough technology to help him with this problem, or not as efficiently as today. Another was family problems, since in his childhood his father was an alcoholic and his mother was often ill. A third difficulty could be the family pressure that he could face because of what his father and grandfather might expect of him. I believe that his problem could be located in a social context, since he could feel excluded by other people, in addition to the treatment that he could receive by the persons. Another context in which can it be located is the economic one, since it was not a family of a very good social class, and at the time when he lived, a person of a higher class would have received more support. I think quite the opposite, because it put with greater importance the contributions that it could get for the history of music and humanity in general before it's well behind, because this, in addition to behind a physical difficulty, at some point also affected its mental well-being, which he confronted to. As I said, he preferred to face this before looking for another easier solution for himself was to overcome the difficulty that he had, without letting this prevent him from doing what he did so well and what he liked. For humanity, it was to be able to leave its invention printed of history, both in general and in music, which he achieved thanks to his discipline and his gift, which is why it says that this character marked a before and after. It could be said that I struggle with some situations from an emotional aspect, mainly which are due to difficulties or problems that may arise, but in most cases I learn to overcome this and I achieve that they do not dominate over my life. The main thing would be to learn to be strong from a mental aspect, because what begins to harm us is not so much the situation but how to react to them. So if we have a strong and cold head, we can always look for a way to get ahead regardless of what to be. The purpose for me is always to give my best, adapting to situations that present some degree of difficulties or problems, and also taking advantage of the knowledge that I can acquire of everything that I overcome and everything that surrounds me. My purpose for humanity will be able to counteract the damages that we have come to do, speaking from an ecological aspect, because it is something that has always interested me, worried me, and from which we are all responsible. I will do this both looking for ways to help from my area of knowledge and making others aware of the problem.